At first glance, the ambassadors seem straightforward, almost deceptively so. Two imposing men stand posed in their finest garments, framed by objects that appear at first to be nothing more than emblems of their status. But the closer you look, the more the surface fractures. Every detail, every shadow, every meticulously painted object hides a thread that leads somewhere deeper. And before we dive into this extraordinary labyrinth of meaning, I want to invite you to be part of the exploration. If you spot symbols, metaphors, or subtle readings that I don't mention, share them. A painting like this is far too vast, too layered, for a single interpretation to claim completeness. Each viewer brings a new angle, a new light, and in a work that literally depends on changing your perspective, every additional insight is invaluable, because one of the very first mysteries emerges precisely through movement. That strange smear on the floor, an odd elongated shape that seems out of place and even clumsy, suddenly transforms when you shift your position. From just the right angle, it becomes a perfectly formed skull, painted using an advanced form of anamorphosis, long before the technique became widespread. It is a silent reminder of death, a memento mori, daring you to look beyond the material grandeur on display. But that skull is only the threshold. Around it unfolds a complex constellation of instruments, books, musical tools, globes and symbols, each one chosen with care. Political upheaval, religious fracture, intellectual ambition, and human vulnerability all converge in a single image. Holbein's The Ambassadors is more than a portrait. It is a coded message from a turbulent century, a philosophical argument, a warning, a mirror. Let's unravel its secrets one layer at a time. The first thing that strikes any viewer is the extraordinary realism. Holbein doesn't merely paint textures, he recreates them. The shimmering sleeves of pink satin worn by Jean de Danteville look almost tangible. The long fur lining his outer coat reflects light with uncanny precision. On the opposite side, Georges de Selve wears an episcopal robe, its heavy folds draped with serene authority. The carpet beneath their feet is so meticulously rendered that it resembles a woven tapestry placed directly onto the canvas. The green velvet curtain behind them falls in rich, weighty folds. None of this is accidental. Holbein is not only showing these men, he is showing their world, their rank, their intellect, and the cultural refinement of the circles they inhabited. Yet Holbein adds something subtle but profound, clues about the exact moment captured. The gilded dagger in Jean's hand is engraved with the number 29, his age at the time. The book resting beside George shows the number 25, marking his own age. These details help anchor the painting not as a timeless symbol of status, but as a snapshot, an image tied to a specific moment in their lives. And that moment was not a calm one. Between the two ambassadors stands a two-tiered shelf overflowing with objects. This display is not decorative, it is a map of Renaissance knowledge. The arrangement follows the Quadrivium, the medieval model of higher studies, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy, and Holbein divides these studies into two realms. The upper shelf, the realm of the heavens. Here we find astronomical instruments, beautiful, complex, and richly symbolic. A celestial globe displays constellations. Several sundials indicate hours and latitudes. Scholars have tried to decode these values for decades, proposing that they might point to specific dates. One popular theory suggests April 11, 1533, Good Friday, a day that would highlight the religious tensions of the time. Historian Eric Ives proposes May 11, 1533, when Anne Boleyn was officially recognized as Queen, marking England's irreversible break from the authority of the Pope. If this is true, Holbein was embedding contemporary politics directly into the painting. The heavens themselves seem to participate in the unfolding crisis. Next is a universal dial, partly disassembled, and a polyhedral dial showing inconsistent times on its various faces. The inconsistencies may not be errors. They may symbolize the instability of Europe as the traditional unity of Christendom crumbled. Finally, we see the torquetum, a rare ancient astronomical device admired for its ingenuity. John, who moved in intellectual circles, would have been fascinated by it. The heavens in Holbein's hands are not serene. They are troubled, dazzling, and uncertain, just like the world below. The lower shelf, the realm of the earth. The terrestrial globe is turned upside down, giving prominence to France and England, key players in the drama surrounding the ambassadors. Holbein spells Paris as Baris and Britannia as Britannia, a clue to linguistic variations of the time or to his personal accent, and he marks policy, Jean's estate, a personal, almost intimate signature embedded into a global object. Next is an arithmetic book by Peter Appian, open to a page about division. The symbolism is hardly subtle. Europe was being divided, politically, spiritually, ideologically. Beside it lies a lute with a broken string, and a set of flutes missing one instrument. Musical harmony, a universal symbol of unity, is fractured. What was meant to create order now represents dissonance. Below them rests a Lutheran hymnal, open to 2 pages that are not consecutive in real life. Luther's hymn Come Holy Spirit, and an abbreviated version of the 10 Commandments. The pairing may express a desire for reconciliation, suggesting that despite confessional conflict, Christianity still shared common truths. Georges, the bishop, stands beside these objects like a quiet advocate for peace amid war. Now we reach the heart of Holbein's message. The long distorted shape at the bottom of the painting puzzled viewers for centuries. Some thought it was debris, others a marine bone. Only later did restoration reveal its nature, a human skull, visible only from a precise angle. Holbein uses extreme anamorphosis, forcing the viewer to physically move to see the truth. This is symbolic. Truth often requires leaving our comfortable position. Knowledge is not enough, perspective matters. During the Renaissance, death was an ever-present shadow, intensified by waves of plague. Skulls in paintings were common, but none were like this. Holbein hides death in plain sight, revealing it only to those who seek it. The message is clear. Achievement fades, wealth fades, knowledge fades. Every human life bends toward the same horizon. But Holbein is not finished. Above, half hidden behind the curtain, is a small crucifix, faint, almost invisible. If the skull represents mortality, the crucifix represents salvation, hope, and the possibility of meaning beyond death. Holbein creates a vertical axis. Below, death. Above, redemption. In the middle, humanity, with all its brilliance and its flaws. The ambassadors stand not as masters of their world, but as its intermediaries, caught between earthly power and eternal truths. The fourth and final layer of this masterpiece lies not in a specific object, but in the structure of the painting itself. Holbein constructs the scene as a stage. The curtain, the carpet, the symmetrical pose, they all suggest theatricality, yet nothing here is mere decoration. The curtain hides the crucifix because most people overlook the divine. The beautiful instruments show human achievement but also arrogance. The inconsistent sundials, the broken string, the reversed globe, every detail hints at a world that looks orderly but is actually collapsing. Even the ambassadors themselves are symbols. Jean embodies political diplomacy. Georges represents spiritual counsel. Together they form a duality, the world of action and the world of reflection. Holbein knew his age was changing. Old truths were dying. New realities emerging. Europe had lost a single religious identity. Science was challenging ancient authorities. The modern world was being born, but painfully. So Holbein paints a warning and a prophecy. Perspective shapes truth. Knowledge is powerful but incomplete. Harmony can break. Death stands at the threshold. And the sacred, though we sometimes forget it, remains present. More than a portrait, The Ambassadors is a conversation across time. Holbein does not just show you a painting, he shows you how to look. In the end, The Ambassadors stands as one of the most ambitious visual arguments ever put to canvas. It is a map of a world in transition, a meditation on the limits of human achievement, and a reminder that perspective, literal and metaphorical, is everything. When you step back, you see two dignified men at the height of their power. When you move, you see the skull that waits for everyone. And when you look closely enough, you find the crucifix whispering from the shadows. Holbein invites us not only to analyze, but to participate, to shift, to wonder, to question, because the painting is not just describing its age, it is describing us. And perhaps that is why it remains extraordinary, because every time we look at it, we are also learning how to look at ourselves.